Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video, I am going to tell you about the Battle of Badr, the first decisive battle in the history of Islam. First, I will tell the reason of the battle. Al-Ushayra invasion, when a Karama belonging to Quraysh had escaped an imminent military encounter with the Prophet ﷺ and his men. When their return from Syria approached, the Prophet ﷺ dispatched Talha bin Ubaidullah and Sa'id bin Zayd northward to scout around for any movements of this sort. The two scouts stayed at Al-Hawra for some days until Abu Sufyan, the leader of the Karama, passed by them. The two men hurried back to Medina and reported to the Prophet ﷺ their findings. Great wealth amounting to 50,000 gold dinars, guarded by 40 men, moving relatively close to Medina, constituted a tempting target for the Muslim military and provided a potentially heavy economic, political and military strike that was bound to shake the entire structure of the Meccan polytheists. The Prophet ﷺ immediately exhorted the Muslims to rush out and waylay the Karama to make up for their property and wealth they were forced to give up in Mecca. He did not give orders binding to everyone, but rather gave them full liberty to go out or stay back, thinking that it would be just an errand on a small scale. The Muslim army was made up of 300 to 317 men, 82 to 86 immigrants, 61 from Aus and 170 from Khazraj. They were not well equipped nor adequately prepared. They had only two horses belonging to Az-Zubayr bin al-Awwam and Al-Miqdad bin al-Aswad al-Kindi. 70 camels, one for 2 or 3 men to ride alternatively. The Messenger of Allah ﷺ himself, Ali and Murthid bin Abi Murthid al-Ghanawi, had only one camel. Disposition of the affairs of Medina was entrusted to Ibn Maktoum, but later to Abu Lubaba bin Abdul Munzir. The general leadership was given to Mus'ab bin Umair al-Qurayshi al-Abdari, and their standard was white in color. The little army was divided into 2 battalions, the immigrants with a standard raised by Ali bin Abi Talib and the helpers whose standard was in the hand of Saad bin Mu'adh. Az-Zubayr bin al-Awwam was appointed to the leadership of the right flank, Al-Miqdad bin Amr to lead the left flank, and the rear of the army was at the command of Qais bin Abi Sa'asa'ah. The general commander-in-chief was the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet ﷺ, at the head of his army, marched out along the main road leading to Mecca. He then turned left towards Badr, and when he reached As-Safra, he dispatched 2 men to scout about for the camels of Quraysh. Abu Sufyan, on the other hand, was on the utmost alert. He had already been aware that the route he was following was attended with dangers. He was also anxious to know about the movements of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. His scouting men submitted to him reports to the effect that the Muslims were lying in ambush for his caravan. To be on the safe side, he hired Damdam bin Amr al-Ghifari to communicate a message asking for help from the Qurayshites. The messenger rode fast and reached Mecca in frenzy. Filling himself from his camel, he stood dramatically before Al-Kaaba, cut off the nose and the ears of the camel, turned its saddle upside down, tore off his own shirt from front and behind, and cried, "O Quraysh, your merchandise, it is with Abu Sufyan. The Karama is being intercepted by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions. I cannot say what would have happened to them. Help!" The effect of this hue and cry was instantaneous. The news stunned Quraysh, and they immediately remembered their pride that was wounded when the Muslims had intercepted Al-Hadrami Karama. They therefore swiftly mustered almost all of their forces, and none stayed behind except Abu Lahab, who delegated someone who owed his some money. They also mobilized some Arab tribes to contribute to the war against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All the clans of Quraysh gave their consent except Banu Adi. Soon an excited throng of 1,300 soldiers, including 100 horsemen and 600 mailed soldiers with a large number of camels, was clamoring to proceed to fight the Muslims. For food supplies, they used to slaughter an alternate number of camels of 10 and 9 every day. They were, however, afraid that Banu Bakr, on account of old, long, deep-seated animosity, would attack their rear. At that critical moment, Iblis appeared to them in the guise of Suraqa bin Malik, chief of Bani Kinana, saying to them, I guarantee that no harm will happen from behind. They set out burning with indignation, motivated by a horrible desire for the revenge and exterminating anyone that might jeopardize the roots of their kawa. Then it is said in the Quran, boastfully and to be seen of men and hinder from the path of Allah. In Quran chapter number 8 verse number 47. Or as the Prophet ﷺ said, O Allah, these are the haughty and conceited. They have come defying Allah and defying His Messenger. They moved swiftly northward to Badr. On the way they received another message from Abu Sufyan asking them to go back home because the Karama had escaped the Muslims. Incidentally, Abu Sufyan, on learning the intention of the Muslims, led his Karama off the main route and inclined it towards the Red Sea. By this maneuver, he was able to slip past the Madani's ambush and was out of their reach. On receiving Abu Sufyan's message, the Meccan army showed a desire to return home. The tyrant Abu Jahl, however, haughtily and arrogantly insisted that they proceed to Badr, stay 3 nights there for making festivities. Now they wanted to punish the Muslims and prevent them from intercepting their Karama and impress on the Arabs that Quraysh still had the upper hand and enjoyed supremacy in that area. Abu Jahl's threats and insistence, notwithstanding, Banu Zahra, acting on the advice of Al-Akhnas bin Shuraiq, broke away and returned to Mecca. Therefore, Al-Akhnas remained the well-herbed palm tree for Bani Zahra and was blindly obeyed in all relevant matters. Banu Hashim were also inclined to break away, but Abu Jahl's threats made them desist from that idea. The rest of the army, now 1,000 soldiers, approached Badr and encamped themselves beyond a sand dune at Al-Udwatul Quswa. We will continue in the next part. Thanks for watching.